Welcome back everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and yeah, we're doing another seasonal championship, continuing with the World Cup theme. This will probably be the last one in that theme, so yeah, we're doing natural selection. So let's see what cars we're going to be getting in, and yeah, we're in S1 class, but then let's see what races we're going to be doing as well. So yeah, we're at the Mexico circuit for the first one, we're up north for the second one, and then down south for the third. So yeah, these are the cars we're getting to choose from. So Aston Martin Vantage, I've come to like this car more and more as time has gone by. So yeah, nice V8 engine, not much in the way of weight, decent old car. Then the classic Bugatti EB110, old-fashioned form of, you know, getting a lot of power out of an engine. 4 big turbochargers from a small cubic capacity V12 engine, and yeah, 611 horsepower is hard to argue with. Then the Ferrari 488 Pista, which is basically the new version of getting a lot of power, 711 horsepower, in fact, while weighing very little. Although the fact the Ferrari barely weighs any less than the Bugatti, despite it having all-wheel drive and being a lot older, is quite interesting. Then we've got the 4GT. Don't know why we've got 2 of the race cars here, but yeah, still pretty damn good car, as well as the Nissan R390. And then finally the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. So yeah, since we are getting on a track car, on tracks to start with, I think we're going to go for the 4GT first. 630 horsepower, not much in the way of weight, and yeah, pretty damn good handling and braking, so hopefully it'll do as well here. Was made for the track, even though it is still also a road car. So since we are on a track, it should hopefully do well. Nice, the variety of cars here. We've got the Ferrari, we've got the Nissan. I think we've got the Aston Martin up front, with that wing on its back. Pretty much, yeah, we've got all of the cars here, so yeah, nice variety. Yeah, I think we definitely do have the better handling. Aston Martin's been upgraded pretty well. Definitely benefiting from that big wing. This car handles beautifully. Basically apples and oranges between this and the mid-2000s version. Rather big lead on the go. This car definitely feels like the right choice for this track. Barely even visible anymore. practically a corner behind, which is pretty big in terms of having a lead. Yeah, this Ford has well and truly pulled it out of the bag. Does have a little bit of understeer at times, you have to get into play, but yeah, on the whole, brilliant car. Even though it's not got the most exciting sounding engine and it's probably not the best road car, but still, absolutely glorious car. And unlikely to be something that you get from Ford in the future, but still, there we go, a nice big lead there. We had more than 7 seconds ahead of the fellow Ford GT, same amount of time ahead of the Aston Martin Vantage, another Ford GT, and the 911. We were all pretty close, so those previous 6 competitors, every one of them below 3 minutes 31, but yeah, still more than 7 seconds behind us. So let's get on to the second race and see if we can do any better. Right, so we're seemingly on a more tight and twisting circuit on this one, so I feel like the Ferrari is going to be the way to go for this one. Because, yeah, 8.2 and 8.4 for handling and braking is pretty damn stellar. It's pretty much the best here. The Porsche has slightly more in the way of handling, but slightly less in the way of braking as well. But I think the Ferrari here, with its lack of weight and a little bit better balance in terms of its front and rear balancing, should be beneficial. And yeah, Porsche sometimes have quite a bit of understeer at times, which I don't think will be handy on a circuit like this. So yeah, I'm going to go for the Ferrari. I know it's the most powerful car here, which typically wouldn't be helpful on a big circuit like this, but I feel the fact that it's got a lack of weight and a good balance, it should be able to deal with corners. And yeah, the better braking, the better brakes will also be helpful as well. Let's hope I'm not wrong. Turning in a little bit too soon there. And unlike the Porsche, this isn't, relying on a big rear wing to provide its downforce. The entire car is pretty much the downforce, so yeah, you don't have to be going quite as fast to have the handling that you require. The Porsche. Race to the finish line, well, start line. Yeah, there's no doubt that this car has a great deal of balance between its handling and its power. To make something with more than 700 horsepower as, responsive and as, agile as this is pretty damn good on Ferrari's part. Also be playful as well, which is always nice to see. You can always get it wrong. Oh dear, yes I did. Yeah, this car has quite phenomenal grip, but when you just push it a little bit too close to the edge, it can let go on you. So you've really got to be careful about that limit. Oh dear. I over-egged it a little bit there. Seems like the Aston Martins in their upgraded form are doing pretty well. Certainly having an easier time than me because I'm failing miserably at some of these corners. Pure speed of this is just unmatched. Hard to argue with more than 700 horsepower in a car that weighs barely 3,000 pounds, so yeah. Pretty fun car, although it is, like I said, something that is a little bit, you know, hard to handle at the limit, but still, a win is a win, even though we're not quite as far as ahead as we were with the Ford GT. With the two Aston Martin Vantages in second and third, Ford GT in fourth, Nissan R390 in fifth. So yeah, but that gives us 20 points, and now we've got 40, so we're 8 ahead of the Aston Martin and 18 ahead of the Ford GT. So let's get on to the third and final race and see if we can steal off a 3 out of 3 victory. So we've had two modern cars on this episode so far, so I want to represent the classics. I want to represent the oldest car here in the form of the EB110. So yeah, handling and braking is obviously going to be down in comparison to the rest of the cars because, you know, it's a far older car, although how close it is compared to the Aston Martin is quite interesting. But the acceleration, the speed and the launch should hopefully pretty good. I know the launch is quite low on this, but and then that's purely because it's an all-wheel drive car, but if you can get it right, you can get it off the line pretty quickly. So yeah, let's see what the EB110 does. So yeah, this is probably a bit of a gamble, probably an unnecessary one, but I do really rather like this car. I know it doesn't have the best looks, but in terms of pure driving and, you know, the engine, it's yeah, one of a kind really at the time, to be honest. What I mean about the launch, get it right and you get it off the line pretty sharpish. Don't quite agree with that low launch figure, to be honest. Only really the McLaren F1 was ever quicker than this back in the early 90s, so should put it in perspective of what this car can do. Then I feel like this is probably the better handling car out of the McLaren in this, because I think this car handles its power better, because it is all-wheel drive. You've got a damn sight more security with this car than you do with the McLaren. Yeah, it's got a little bit less in the way of power, and I think it's heavier as well, but and yeah, the top speed isn't quite as good. But in terms of pure driving, I think this is the better car. This engine is a little bit addictive in terms of just sheer amounts of torque and horsepower it just dumps on you at any one time because of those huge 4 turbos. So yeah, I do prefer it to the McLaren F1. Kind of at a loss of whether or not I prefer it to the XJ220 though. That car is also you know, ludicrously powerful from a small capacity engine with turbochargers. I think because the X320 looks a little bit better, it's kind of what edges it out for that car. Again, that only has rear wheel drive, but it does still feel quite stable. So yeah, I'm at a loss to decide between the two, but luckily I don't have to because I can race either one whenever I want. So that's the beauty of these kind of games, really. Don't really have to decide what cars you like best. You can enjoy both at the same time. These Aston Martins are distinctly lacking their rear wings from the previous two races. To improve their speed. The edge of that building there. Didn't think that had happened, but nonetheless, let's get ahead of these Aston Martins again. Yeah, this isn't the easiest of cars to drive fast, especially against other people. No denying that this has the power down the straight. And another win. I think we might well have to up the difficulty before we do the next championship, because that was a bit of an easy one considering we were in the oldest car, but still not a resounding victory. We weren't miles ahead like we were in the first race. Yeah, we were only a little over a second ahead, so yeah, but still the EB110 came through good there, giving us the 20 points, 60 overall, 14 ahead of the Aston Martin, and yeah, well ahead of, oh no, it was on the Aston Martin or Bugatti, probably because we're at the bottom of the class, but yeah, still a really fun car, that Bugatti, and yeah, definitely kind of somewhat laid the groundwork for the Veyron, which, you know, was also all-wheel drive and had 4 turbochargers and was pretty damn quick. So yeah, nonetheless though, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.